I used to be terrible at drawing, but now I draw good. See? And it's all because of what he learned on PortraitArtAcademy.com. Vincent from America. Did we have to use that idiot to promote our website? I don't know. Has he not improved with his art? A little, I guess. Okay, let's talk a little bit about choosing a focal point. Focal points are really important. Where to direct your viewers' attention. What is a focal point? I've explained this in other lessons and other courses, but let's go over it a little bit before you get all confused about it. Simply put, it's the point you draw attention to, the point where most viewers will focus on at the initial stages, or in other words, according to Google, the center of interest or activity. Choosing a focal point can be based on the subjects themselves. If you want the viewer to focus on a certain face or a body part, a dynamic, a person, or an item, you can highlight that by making it conspicuously lighter or darker than other objects or people. Or you can play around with the composition to draw attention to it. Here in Rembrandt's painting, the face is lighter than the background, and Rembrandt was really good at creating contrast between light and dark, and so he usually did that on purpose. Here's another example. The people in this painting from the Rococo time period, which is around the Baroque, you've heard of that maybe, between 1740 and 1770, are a lot lighter than the dark background, making them stand out. You can see this whole area here, her dress, her face, all very pale, the flowers a little bit, and then this is all very dark. Like there's a little bit of a highlight here, but then he's very light too. The colors are bright, and so there's this V kind of shape here. So the artist intentionally created those focal points and wanted to draw attention to the two people and the space in between them. Here's the last example of that concept. In this image, it's the opposite though. See here, the background's darker and the foreground is lighter, as well as in this one. But in this one, the focal point is the foreground, but it's darker than the background. So that can happen too. It just depends. This is a focal point based on direction or composition. In the Renaissance and Baroque painting, sometimes the whole purpose of painting figures was to put them in dynamic poses. Sometimes they created like all these big muscles and everything. The direction or composition became the goal and therefore typically the focal point. So here it's all about the direction. See, this guy is going for that knife. This guy is holding the knife up. This guy is holding on to him. Everything's just going into that diagonal direction. Here's a couple of other examples. Even though it could be said that the subjects or people are the focal points for a reason, they all carry with them a certain direction and dynamic energy. So you can see that here. They are the focal point, but they also carry a certain direction with them. And this one obviously goes into this direction. I censored here, this part. I hope you appreciate that. If you don't, well, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, definitely the direction of this figure is very important. And then the direction of this red cape behind him. So direction matters. Here's another example. Although the contrast shows the person as a highlighted object in the painting, the main focus is the direction. Look at this direction that they're trying to create in this painting. So, yeah, because of the pose. The focal point can also be based on color. A focal point doesn't have to be determined by contrast or composition, but it can also be a completely different color that makes a subject or person or an object stand out. Here, the woman mostly stands out because of the red color of her dress, and the boat because of its green color, but not as much as the lady with the red dress. So, because the background is lighter and it's not as conspicuous as a color, the hue is not as strong, then she really stands out in that sense.